I had an amazing teacher named Mr. Gaynor, and Mr. Gaynor was he was the tipping point for me. He was that teacher that all of a sudden I went from being in remedial class where I was tracing my finger on pages trying to say the letter S and put my
Wow.
tongue in the right spot behind my tooth, and like so from there to not being able to read to sitting in these remedial classes with kids who were challenged in 100 different ways,
Mhm.
to him going, you know what, Tyler, actually, I think you belong in enrichment class. And it's in my school, we had this thing where some of the kids would go and they would get remedial help to kind of fill in some of those gaps. And then there were these other kids who were deemed as super smart
Mhm.
who would go off and they would do all these other things. So first thing he did was he sent me to this program, because I was comedic as a result of kind of some of my detriments.
Mhm.
Comedy kind of came out and humor. So he sent me to this acting class. And then the next thing you know, I was in this
Wow.
innovation class where we were inventing things and coming up with the next thing was this fantasy class where we were like coming up with like these worlds. and
Mhm.
and next thing you know, I was smart. And it all comes
Wow.
down to the work that I'm doing now in
Yeah.
team building is around multiple intelligences. Mr. Gaynor knew that my intelligences might not have been fit inside the rigor of the classroom and in what those walls look like.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what I had were special skills that were enhanced and different, and equally as valuable,
Mhm.
but not necessarily valuable in that kind of traditional school system. So
Right.
he was able to access and help me access some of those very cool things that I could do and use my art skills, use
Yeah.
my creative thinking skills, my kinesthetic skills, that all that started to develop. And that's the work that we do at Team Building School.